to the news update on AFRICUNIA television, reaching you from our studio in the nation's commercial capital, Lagos, Nigeria. I am Deborah Ezeh. We begin from Nigeria, barely 7 weeks after terrorists attacked worshippers at Owo in Ondo State. Some unknown gunmen have again attacked the ancient town. Many people were said to have been injured in the attack, which took place Wednesday evening at Folahomi Junction, where a construction company called Cranberg Construction Company was located. Eyewitness reports added that the gunmen opened fire on those at the site. Another source who spoke alleged that some explosive devices were also used during the attack. However, the casualty figure was yet to be ascertained as at the time of filing this report, but many people were said to be injured in the attack. The incident was confirmed by the police public relations officer for the commando, PPRO SP Fumilayo Odunlami, who also stated that some persons were injured in the attack. She added that it was still unknown if the perpetrators were terrorists or merely bandits. And now moving on, Senator on Wednesday threatened to impeach the President, Muhammadu Buhari, over the worsening insecurity in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, and the country at large. The angry senators who are in the opposition gave the President a 6-week ultimatum to address the security crisis or face impeachment proceedings. Opposition senators issued the ultimatum on Wednesday as fears over insecurity in Abuja worsened, with the government ordering schools to shut down to prevent attacks by terrorists. The Presidency, in a statement by the President's spokesman Gabasheo, described the action of the opposition senators as babyish, advising them to put their time to better use. The nation's capital had been gripped by fear following the attack by the suspected terrorists on the elite Presidential Guards Brigade by gunmen along the Buhari-Kubwa Road on Sunday. Following this development, security forces Tuesday deployed troops and policemen in strategic locations in the FCT, including helicopters and drones. Also on Tuesday night, there were reports of sporadic shootings at Dandata Bridge, Airport Road, and Ministers Hill, Maitama, sparking panic among residents. Away from Nigeria, protesters took to the streets for a third consecutive day after at least 15 people were killed and dozens of others injured during the previous 2 days of demonstration in Congo's east against the United Nations mission in the country. The UN said Tuesday 1 peacekeeper from Morocco and 2 international policemen from India, 7 with the UN peacekeeping force, were slain, and a policeman from Egypt was injured at the UN base in Butembo in North Kivu province when violent attackers snatched weapons from Congolese police and fired on UN personnel. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has condemned the violence targeting multiple UN bases across North Kivu since Monday, according to a UN spokesman. Since Monday, demonstrators set fires and forced entry into the UN mission offices in Goma, accusing the peacekeeping force of failing to protect civilians and rising violence in Congo's eastern region. They are calling for the UN forces present in Congo for years to leave. The Somalian-based extremist group Al-Shabaab claimed responsibility for the attack, and witness Azan Abdullahi confirmed to the AP by phone that 11 people, including the district commissioner, had been killed. Now, still on the African scene, Mali's armed forces said Wednesday terrorists had simultaneously attacked a military camp located in the western town of Kalumba and the camp in Sokolo. The armed forces of Mali also denounced terrorist infiltration attempts in the Amadon Bokari Bari camp, as well as an attempt at the Air Force compound in the city of Savary, central Mali. In the last few days, the jihadists of Sahel-based Al-Qaeda Nebula has stepped up pressure on the Malian junta with an unprecedented level of coordination of operation. This comes at a time of deteriorating security context, and the Western African country has been plagued by war since 2012 and shaken by 2 coups d'etat in 2 years. The group for the support of Islam and Muslims affiliated to Al-Qaeda looks for extending its influence amid the confusion. We now go on a short break, and when we come back, it's updates making the rounds on the foreign scene. Stay with me. And now welcome back. On the foreign scene today, an Ukrainian counter-offensive has virtually cut off the Russian-occupied southern city of Kherson and left thousands of Russian troops stationed near the Dnieper River highly vulnerable, British defense and intelligence officials said on Thursday. Ukraine has made clear its intent to recapture Kherson, which fell to Russia in the early days of the invasion launched by Russian President Vladimir Putin on February 24th. Britain Defense Ministry said Ukrainian forces have probably established a bridgehead south of the Inglos River and had used new long-range artillery to damage at least 3 of the bridges crossing the Dnieper. Zelensky said Ukraine would build the Antonievsky Bridge over the Dnieper and other crossings in the region. Now, meanwhile, state-controlled media outlet Russia Today lost its court fight against an European Union ban imposed in March over alleged disinformation, prompting the Kremlin to warn of retaliatory measure against Western media. Europe's second highest court upheld the EU decision taken after Brussels accused Russia Today of systematic disinformation over Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Judges endorsed the latitude of the EU's Council of Government Heads to take restrictive measures in this field and dismissed Russia Today's argument that the ban curtailed its freedom of expression. The Kremlin said the EU court decision was extremely negative and that Moscow would take similar measures against West media in response. In a call with reporters, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said Russia Today was unable to work in Europe, but he hoped it would find loopholes to resume broadcasting. Now, still on the foreign scene, US President Joe Biden and China's Xi Jinping may hold their 5th call as leaders as soon as possible, as concerns rise over a possible visit to Chinese-claimed Taiwan by US House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. White House officials have said the long-planned call will have a broad agenda, including discussion of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, which China has yet to condemn. At its core, US officials sees the exchange as another chance to manage competition between the world's 2 largest economies, whose ties are increasingly clouded by tension over democratically governed Taiwan, which Xi has vowed to reunite with the mainland by force if necessary. And now on to the sports scene. Nigeria is considering co-hosting the 2025 African Cup of Nations tournament with West African neighbor Benin Republic. According to the president of the Nigeria Football Federation, Amaju Pinnick, Guinea has been scheduled to host the tournament that year, but the political crisis in the country could see them lose the hosting rights. Amaju Pinnick said he has officially notified CAF that Nigeria is interested in co-hosting the tournament with Benin Republic. It is almost 13 years since the country last hosted any major football tournament, and Pinnick says he notified the Confederation of African Football of Nigeria's desire to host the tournament. The tournament was initially slated for June and July 2023, but CAF had to move it to 2024 due to the unfavorable weather conditions around the time in Ivory Coast. And finally, Crystal Palace have signed Bayern Munich defender Chris Richard on a 5-year deal for an undisclosed fee, the Premier League club announced. The 22-year-old United States centre-back joined Bayern from FC Dallas in 2018 and had been on loan at Hoffenheim since February 2021. I grew up watching the Premier League and grew up, of course, watching Ezeh and Wilfred, so it would be cool to spend some time on the field with them and be a part of this historic club, Richard told the website of London club Palace. Eagles chairman Steve Parish added, Chris is a hugely talented young player and he brings a lot of experience at a high level for his age, as well as being an established international for the USA national side. And that concludes the news update on AFRICUNIA television. Do follow all our social media platforms on Jointum, Pangram.ct, Instagram, Facebook, and on Twitter in that respective order. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, and leave a comment for me on the comment section. Once again, I am Deborah Ezeh. Bye for now.